There is a door in Manhattan that costs $215,000 just to open, not for a year, just to touch the handle.
In Geneva, there is a suite where the windows do not just stop rain, they stop 50 caliber bullets, and if a threat is detected, the entire floor becomes a sealed titanium vault in under 4 seconds. And then there are the ghost resorts. Hotel chains with 0 ads, 0 social media, 0 public records. If you have never heard of them, that is not an accident. That is the plan.
This is not a luxury travel vlog. We are auditing the fortress hotels built for the people who own the world and the secrets they are hiding. This is not a conspiracy theory. Real places, real names, real money. This is the audit.
The Hotel President Wilson in Geneva is not a hotel. It is a sovereign bunker. On the 8th floor sits the royal penthouse, 1 suite, the entire floor. At the cost per night is $100,000. Forget the piano, forget the Persian rugs, look at the windows, E60 rated armored glass, the kind that stops bullets, not handgun bullets, rifle bullets. Look at the doors, steel lined every single one, and in the walls there are hidden panels. One press and under 4 seconds, the magnetic seals drop steel shutters across every exit. You are not in a room anymore, you are in a safe. In 2016, this suite was bugged. A foreign intelligence agency infected the hotel's computer systems during UN talks. This is not speculation. Swiss authorities confirmed it. The hotel systems used during the Iran nuclear talk were infected with espionage malware. The most secure private room on the planet, compromised while world leaders were inside it.
And yet, Bill Clinton, Michael Gorbachev, Tony Blair, Bill Gates has stayed here.
None of them paid for the view of Lake Geneva. They paid for those 4 seconds. The 4 seconds it takes to disappear.
Aman Resorts has a marketing budget of 0. No billboards, no magazine ads, no influencer trips, not one sponsored post in 35 years. Most companies would call that a disaster. Aman calls it the product. The real luxury is not a gold bathroom. It is invisibility. Mark Zuckerberg can buy anything. Bill Gates can stay anywhere. What neither of them can easily buy is a place where nobody knows they are there. At the Summer Palace in Beijing, there is a door that does not appear on any tourist map. It is not on Google. It is not on any official plan of the grounds. It opens only for Aman guests. 1 key, 1 door, a glitch in reality. In Venice, you do not visit the Doge's palace with the crowds. You wait, you go when the city is empty, when the last tourist has gone home and the lights are low. You walk the halls alone, in total silence, just you and 700 years of history. That is what $3,200 a night buys at the entry level. The New York Members Club costs $215,000 just to join, not per year, just to get through the door the first time. The owner of Aman, Vladislav Doronin, bought the penthouse of Aman, New York for himself personally.
The man who owns the most exclusive hotel chain in the world chose to live inside it. That tells you everything about what these places actually are.
There is a suite in the Maldives where the bedroom is 16 feet underwater. Is the Conad Maldives Morocco suite. You go to sleep and the Indian Ocean is your ceiling. Fish drift past the glass all night. The only way in is a private speedboat or a seaplane. No roads, no nearby airport. Getting there is already filtered. The Morocco suite costs $55,000 a night. Private chef, personal butler, fitness trainer, jet skis on the upper deck, all included.
In 2014, the former president of Maldives, Muhammad Wahid, sent a letter to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender, the man who had already been arrested, prosecuted, and released.
In Wahid's own words, the proposal was a private island, 10 villas underneath the water, and charge will be $25 million. The clientele of Epstein were Middle Eastern royal families and rich Russian. Are you guys getting the connection here? Private villas under the water?
A former head of state pitching a private island resort to a convicted criminal in the middle of the ocean where nobody could watch. That letter is the only thing that ever came out. Everything else that happened in these waters stayed there. And that tells you exactly what this place really is. It is a jurisdiction. A location so remote, so dependent on foreign money, and so easy to control that it became one of the most useful places on earth to make deals that cannot be made anywhere else. That silence is not a gap in the record. That silence is the most expensive thing money can buy. Whatever gets discussed in that underwater bedroom stays in that underwater bedroom. The ocean makes sure of it.
That is not luxury. That is the architecture. The architecture built to keep the outside world exactly where it belongs. Outside.
Some hotels were built for billionaires, some were built by billionaires, and they only became hotels after the owners died. Quixmala in Mexico, 30,000 acres of private land, crocodile lagoons, miles of private beaches, no neighbors, no roads in. It was built by Sir James Goldsmith, one of the most powerful financiers of the 20th century. He owned media companies across Europe, he ran political campaigns, he had friends in rooms most people do not even know exist, and he brought them here. Richard Nixon, Henry Kissinger, Ronald Reagan came to Quixmala every year for weeks at the same time. They came to think, to talk, to plan. No journalists, no records, no minutes taken, just the jungle, the lagoon, and the crocodiles. After Goldsmith died in 1997, his daughter opened it as a hotel. The land is the same, the lagoon is the same, the distance from the rest of the world is the same, the privacy is the same.
And yes, you can do almost anything you want at Quixmala, almost. Swimming in the Crocodile Lagoon is strictly off limits, only available to the billionaires. One rule.
There are hotels with no website you can find, no reviews on any platform, no way to book unless you know someone who has been there. Some run background checks before they tell you the rates, not after you book, before you see the prices, a background check to look at the menu. There is a private resort in Fiji where you cannot stay without a personal invitation from the owner, not a referral, not a recommendation, a personal invitation. A staff member from one of these resorts recently broke their NDA after 5 years of silence. Every year a group of very powerful guests arrives. The staff are told to be invisible, to anticipate everything, to hear nothing. And then one staff member heard something they could not unhear, one guest talking to another about money, about a deal. The comment that got out was this:
"Who cares if it was insider trading?"
That is the product. Not the pool, not the food, not the thread count on the sheets, the certainty that you can say the unsayable and it will never leave the room.
These are not hotels. They are boardrooms with beds. The purpose they serve is not luxury. It is control. Control over who gets in. Control over what is said. Control over what gets out.
The Geneva suite seals in 4 seconds. The Aman has never told the public it exists. The Conrad Maldives put an ocean between guests and the world. Quixmala put crocodiles between them. The Fijian resort requires an invitation just to see what it cost.
Every place in this video is real. Every detail is documented. None of it was secret in the traditional sense. It was just never put together in one place before. That is what this channel does.
You have been watching the results of these meetings your entire life, in your bills, in your laws, in your wars. You just did not know where the meetings were happening. Now you do.
The question is not which hotel you would choose for a night. What are they deciding about your future right now while they are behind those steel doors? Drop your answer in the comments. I am reading every single one.